I love color changes so much that we've already done 2 videos featuring 14 color changes on our channel. This video marks the 3rd video, which means you can now learn 21 changes on our YouTube. If you're not already subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Today we're going to be looking at 7 different ways in which you can color change cards when they're on the table. For this, you're going to be needing a deck of playing cards and, of course, a pad, a couple of hands, and the most important thing, the will and sheer joy and passion for magic. So grab your deck of cards and let's start learning. Welcome to 7 color changes you can do on the table. Explained with your boy Biz right here. The first color change from 7 table color changes that any magician must know, which has to be a way too long title for YouTube, obviously uses 2 playing cards. Just like in any other color change, we're going to need to change one card into the other. This is very reminiscent of many mockings, way to mock playing cards. You know, when you're just waving and you're switching one for another. Maybe some of you are familiar with these ways of switching in or switching out playing cards. Am I saying it right? It's a muck. Mucks. I was saying mock-ups, but it's mucks. Okay. The first color change from 7 table color changes every magician must know uses obviously 2 playing cards, and this is very reminiscent of many muck-ups, not muck-ups, mucks. Very mucks, very many mucks that you guys probably are familiar with from Steve Forte or others the like. I am not familiar with mucks, but this is one of the changes that I've been playing with ever since I was like 13, and let me show you just how it's done. So we're going to grip the first card right here in between our thumb and index finger. So it's going to be gripped like this. And what happens is if we just place our hand over it, as you can see, we can spread our fingers and the card is not visible. That's because we're holding it right here in between our thumb and index. Then what we have to do is make sure that this card is a little bit bent inwards, just like that. This will allow us to just insert this playing card underneath that one, let go of it, and then, oh wait, I didn't put it underneath. So we go underneath, we let go, and then we take that one in one swoop. Okay, so we grip the card. If you want, you can give a nice finger roll like this, so it looks as if both hands are empty. You're going to go over it. I am revealing it to you so you can see what's happening. I go underneath, and if you go fast, you can actually let go of this one and grab that one at the same time almost without any sort of motion to this playing card that is on the table. See, just like that. Now, every time actually, I close my fingers in case I actually palm this card a little bit higher in the palm, it's not visible to the audience. So we're over here, we go underneath. You see, maybe I'm explaining it a bit too fast, but when you get up to this point, I let go of my grip on the card, and then I push down on the top card, and I continue waving. Obviously, you need a pad for this because it allows you to do motions like this one. If you're doing it on a table, I think it can work on a table as well, actually. But if you're doing it on something else, it might give you a little bit of trouble. Now, as you can see, when you open your hand like this, it becomes visible that you're holding a playing card, so make sure that you are positioning your audience accordingly. And there you go, guys. This is called the techie change, how I called it. But as I kept reading magic and discovering magic, I realized this isn't really an original move. So let's just call it table wave change number 1. Hey guys, Biz here. I'm here with Big Blind Media, and this video is part of a whole tutorial series where we teach you 7 sleights, 7 tricks, 7 ideas that we curate or we create ourselves, and then we pass them over to you. If you're enjoying what you're seeing over here and you are actually learning from the video that you're watching, make sure to subscribe, drop a comment, and like the whole 3 things one after the other, okay? You cannot do one without the other. You subscribe, you comment, and then you like. Welcome to the second color change in the series, which is called the Dracula Muck. And I published this with Magical Slide back when they were making the small magazines called Bullfrog together with Father Alex. And Father Alex really liked this muck from this 19-year-old Romanian kid, which is actually built on the previous slide that I showed you. So at the core, we're going to be using the same motion as before, the same position, everything is the same. It's just what happens with this card that is different. You see, we're going to be picking that card up and we're going to be palming it by using the card that we have in our palm to scoop it up. So we scoop it up. As soon as that card goes underneath, we're actually able to palm that whole card. And in this position, I can actually rotate my wrist and drop this playing card on the table. In this way, creating a switch. This is based on the very classic muck that goes like this, which obviously I do not know the name of because I am uneducated when it comes to crediting. But maybe one of you knows the origins of this move and can actually tell me. You know, you go from here and then you put it down over there. And I was thinking I can actually do that, but from this position. So we grip it over here in between our thumb and index finger and the palm, the base of the index finger. We scoop up the card and notice that if I just go in the playing card, it instantly goes into palm. You see, it's perfectly positioned right underneath. So I can just flex my index, my pinky finger inwards, and I can palm that card. And from here, I just need to rotate my wrist just slightly so this card can actually point up and then drop it on the table. And it looks like that. I scoop it up and then I drop that card on the table and I can even push it with this hand. And that is the Dracula Muck. Not my idea for a name. Don't worry about it. But when you're from Romania, everybody thinks about Dracula. So there you go. Ah, the classic Marlo table change. I could not have possibly made this video without including the Legends classic table wave change. Now, I start off with this way of pushing a double, where you're basically just bending them like this. You're placing it down on the table and then you're pushing it with your thumb. It looks as if it could be difficult, but if you have a pad, you just have to bend it and slowly throw it, and it makes it look more like a single playing card. So we now have a double on the table. And what we're going to do is wave our hands. Let me just position so it's perfect. We're going to wave our hands over the card. And in the process of doing this, I'll let you think about it for a second. Yes, you're right. We're just going to wave our hand over this card and move it into our lap. That's exactly what's happening. And I usually do it on the second go. So that's one. And then when I come over here, I make sure that the base of my thumb contacts this inner left corner of the playing card. And if you contact it, you should definitely cover the whole playing card. Over here, we're contacting that corner. You see it's underneath, just like that. And then I'm going to ditch this in my lap, just over there. Now, at all points, you should have the same motion from beginning to end. That's one, and then that's two. And you could hear the card fall on the floor at this point. You could even do it as a vanish as well. And you hear the second sound. And then produce it from the box or something. But there you go, guys. This is Marlo's table change. It is a very classic way of changing a playing card on the table. And I believe it is one of the changes that has inspired many other changes and switches after that. Here is a very, very simple table color change that I started playing around with back in 2011. I was so happy with it, and I was so cocky to think that such a simple change is something that I have completely created. And I even called it the Romanian color change. I was so proud of it. I even gave it my nationality. So let me show you guys just what it is. You're executing a double on top of the deck, and then you're moving it to the right side over here. And what's going to happen is you're going to throw the card on the table. But instead of throwing both playing cards, you're going to necktie your left wrist just a bit, pull in the top card, and just throw that second card on the table. And I believe this is such a beautiful switch as a face down switch as well. If you have a card like the three of diamond, actually you can just throw the top card when you have a double. But if you have one single playing card on top of the deck, just like that, and place it down, then you can use this as a very nice switch that doesn't actually involve any necktying. But if you think about it, isn't this just a throw second deal, you know? It's a bad throw second deal, as I would like to put it, because here you're pushing and you're already in position and then you're throwing it. Whereas when you do this, you have to place it over there. Hey, the sponsor for this video is Big Blind Media. Actually, we are our own sponsors because we make all of these videos to give back to you guys, the community that is supporting us and that is with us for such a long time. This year, we're actually turning 20 years since we have been on the market and have been producing original magic for hobbyists and professionals all around the world, which means we're going to be doing a gigantic sale and we're going to be giving a lot of gifts and discounts. So if you have not subscribed to our newsletter, now is the moment to do so. It's in the description below. Check that out and be on the lookout for all the goodies, you know. So as you can see, maybe not the brightest method, since it is using something that already exists, but as a color change, I believe it is very nice. It's very easy, and for any beginner, it's a very, very beautiful visual change because people can look at it, you're gripping it, and then you're throwing the card towards them, and it changes in midair, as if. So just play around with it, you know, place it over there. Your fingers are going to stop the bottom card from moving from underneath. The thumb is going to pull the top card, and this hand is going to throw the card on the table. Obviously, don't forget to necktie the card a little bit over here, just like that. And then when you take the card back, you're just going to place it on top and execute a double lift. At this point, you can even say you do it again. Watch, we take the jack, and it's actually the 3, and then just like that, you throw it, and it changes back into the 3. So you can have this nice back and forth. It's the 3, you turn it, watch, just like that, and it's the jack. A nice, beautiful back and forth throw, and it's called the throw change. Let's not give it a nationalistic name. It definitely builds up on so much more material that already exists, but I think it's a beautiful change to know, so I hope you guys have a lot of fun with it. Here is a very old school color change that at one point when I was starting Magic, everybody was doing it, just because it's such a beautiful and visual change, as it happens when you're just flicking the card on the table like this. Now, you obviously need a double, and it builds up on what I was showing you right before this, where it's the throw change like that. What you're basically doing is you move the double on the right side, and then as you're going to flick it on the table, you're going to pull the top card to the left and necktie, turn your wrist at the same time. I just realized that necktying is this and turning your wrist is that. So you're turning your wrist inwards. Move the card to the left, prepare, you're going to hit, and at the same time, you're going to pull that top card and turn your wrist at the same time. Now, notice that I am seated for the explanation, but in the performance, I was standing. That's because when you're doing this change, it feels much more comfortable to stand, as your hands have to come up a little bit and just feels a little bit awkward when you're sitting at a table. Watch over here. I just have to like turn my wrists inwards a little bit, which is a little bit weird, just like that. Now, be careful that when you're doing this change, obviously you can't have anybody on the right, but when you're pulling the card, make sure that the card over here, because sometimes what I do is I instantly hold the pinky break, and from this position, it's pretty visible that I have a playing card over here. This is a mistake that I've been doing ever since I was just a beginner, and as you can see, because I haven't actually done the change as much since then, I still have the same mistake embedded into my muscle memory. So double, move to the right, hit, pull, turn around, and then pick up the card on top and turn the double once more. A beautiful change to do as it happens instantly, very reminiscent of Ed Marlowe's snap change, and that's because I think Ed Marlowe created this one as well. Please do correct me in the comment section below if I am wrong regarding this. For this one, we're going to be using the same position as we did for the throw change and for the flick change. As you notice, this might have been one of the most favorite positions for changing a playing card back in the old days. This one is another idea that I've had when I was, again, 12, 13. And if you can do it like this, then I thought, hey, you might as well be able to do it in a rub-a-dub-dub. Obviously, I think I have seen other magicians do this as well, so this is not an original creation, but I think it is a beautiful one if you like doing the rub-a-dub-dub change, as you can also do it from other rub-a-dub-dub situations as well. If you want, you can use the deluxe rub-a-dub-dub where you go like this and you change it, or you can use the normal rub-a-dub-dub and change it. If you use playing cards that have an empty area on the upper right side, like, as you can see, the 2 and the 3 have this, the 4 does not, as the diamond is already in this area. The queen does not, or any other court card, because we have the lines over here. The joker definitely does not. I wanted to do it with a joker, but this one is written on the right side. So if you want to have a really convincing change, find some cards that are empty on the right side. That's an ace, a 2, a 3. I think maybe even cards like... No, I think that's it. So it's beautiful because if you pull the card and using the side of your pinky, you're basically pushing down on that second card. You can leave the whole right area exposed. And as such, when you reveal that the card has changed, it's much more powerful than if you were to completely cover the card like this. Because if I were to change one single card, I would probably put my hand in such a way that people can see that the card is over there and then show that it has changed. So we flip a double, already place it over here on the right side. If you're having any sort of difficulties with double lifts, do know that we have actually published 7 ways in which you can do a double lift right here on the channel. So you can check that out. This position, I'm covering the card completely. And it is in this moment that I pull the card to the right, to the left side, and at the same time, I turn my wrist inwards so I can hide that card being on top of the deck. So I place my hand and I turn my wrist so that I can show the corner and then reveal that the card has changed. So over here, cover, push down on that part of the card with the lateral side of your palm, turn your hand, and then reveal the change. Now, here's a bonus one for you. Let's say, for example, you would like to make it so that at the end, there is no card that is face up on top of the deck. And this is the solution that I found when I was smaller. So you pull the card, and over here, you're going to basically just realize you probably need a different angle for this. But let me show you. You push down on this, and then you allow that card to fall down and steal it like this in the process. So let me see if I have been clear. So you go down, you're covering the card, and instead of pulling this all the way through, you're pulling it just a little bit. Let me show you. So you're over here, try and go as much as possible to the right side. You're pushing down, and then I am turning my wrist while I'm keeping that card over there, and then I'm flipping the card on top of the deck. So over here, I cover, you see I'm already flipping and I'm placing the deck down. And then I can reveal that the card has changed. Over here, cover, turn my hand, and at the same time I am doing this. Turn over here, change the card, and then I can even turn my wrist to show that it is indeed one single playing card. So here is a nice add-on, bonus change for all of you guys that like the rub-a-dub-dub change, you know? Over here, cover, turn around. I'm going to show you with the fingers opened. Over here, it changes, and then this one is already flipped on top of the deck. And there you go, guys. The rub-a-dub-dub change on the table. If we take the 5 and just place the deck over here next to... Actually, let's place it face up so you can actually see it at all times. Oh, I see the 5 has changed. Maybe it identifies as a woman now. Here is a change that happens as we place the deck down on the table. The first thing that I do is I place the deck in such a way that I create an image for the spectator that this deck is placed in a position where the card is still seen. Then we turn it face up, and we have a card that is face up on the bottom of the deck. And what's going to happen is we're going to throw the deck on top of this card and at the same time release the card from under the deck. And by releasing it at the same time, it will move forward and look as if we merely did the same thing that we did before, which is to place the deck down in this position. So the way that we make the card pop is by getting a pinky break and then moving that to a thumb break. And from here, we're going to let go of the card. And as we're letting go, we're going to also move our hand forward. And what happens is we're throwing the card in a way, and at the same time, we're dropping the deck on the table. Actually, it's not in a way. We're really throwing the card forward. So I'm letting go of it, and I'm throwing it forward, just like that. Don't throw it too much, because you don't want it to look like a pop. You want it to look as if you're just placing the deck down, like I said. But also don't think about it too much. Don't try and get it perfect. I believe this type of changes is best done when you are talking with the spectator. You throw the deck down, you're talking with them, and you're pointing at the joker, and then you're asking them, can you just name a number? Well, sorry about that. Can you just name a number between 1 and 10? And this happens, you place it down, and at the same time, you ask them a question. And in that moment, they're going to look up at you, and when they look back down, the card has already changed. So I believe it's a great change to do as you are asking a question. Just like that. You see? Ask a question and place the card down as well. If you want, you can do it as a change as well, but I believe it is very powerful when it is done on the off beat. Or if you're just taking somebody's card, somebody selects a card from the deck, say for example it's the 4, and you place the deck down as you are turning around, and while everybody's taking a look at you, and they think you just placed the deck down on top of the card, they take a look back and the card has changed. Kind of a different change from all the other ones that we learned until now, but I believe it's a color change that it invites being curious, and it's fun to play around with because there's not a lot of changes that are based around a pop. Actually, there's many changes based around the pop-up, but I think this is one that is fun to play around with, like I said. So there you go, guys. 7 color changes that you can perform at the table. Let me know in the comment section below which one was your favorite, and if you know any other changes that you would like to share with the people reading through the comment section. My name is Biz, we are Big Blind Media, and we have been on the market for the past 20 years producing original magic for both hobbyists and professionals. If you are just tuning in, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as we post a lot of our original products here as well. And if you want, you can become a member of the BBM fam right here on YouTube, or you can go to our website bigblindmedia.com and browse through all of our plethora of things and original beautiful magic that you can learn over there, both for hobbyists, beginners, and semi-professionals and professionals. I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, click like and drop a comment. And until next time, happy practicing and much love to all of you.